did anyone take papers out for what person?
There's snow.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, no signal. Why isn't there a signal? Because I didn't finish hooking up.
And they're still doing the town meeting on the 21st,
28.
28th, so they, good, so we can have Mike.
Yes.
They took my suggestion.
Yes,
Excellent.
it was excellent. They did a great job.
I didn't like last year's guy.
No, I didn't either. I think it would have been a different meeting with Mike there. Okay, there we go.
I just didn't feel he really listened to people. That was my fault, but something rubbed me wrong. Well, good to know.
Here we go.
Is it possible to get a copy of those bylaws from you before I leave tonight?
The bylaws
For
for,
the, now they call it the auxiliary, the library community center.
oh, the draft ones?
Yeah,
Um,
I have it on my cell phone if I can print to your printer.
if you can, I don't know if you can do that, but if you
Just forward it to you?
forward it to me, I can print them.
Okay, that'd be great. I will do that. So that's the same attorney that's doing the Rockport
Yes.
residents. That's what I thought, because it's the same name, but I didn't want to assume.
I will go up and print it right now while we're waiting for people. So that way neither of us forgets.
Thank you. Hey, Bob, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good. So are you on the board or just a member of the Lobster Association?
I'm on the board.
Okay, what's your position on the board?
I'm just a board member.
Okay.
And, I've been on the MLA board for over 20 years.
Well, I asked Terry, were you a board member or just a member? And she said you'd been on the board, but she didn't know if you were on the board. And that was one of my questions.
Yeah, no,
Because the conversation didn't really give us much information, so we didn't know that. So that was a question on the minute. Say you're a board member or just a member, so,
board member
okay,
and vice president of co-op.
okay.
We take turns.
For the Spruce Head Co-op?
Yeah, I was very pleased to see that the selectmen chose to put $7,500, and I was even more pleased, because I talked to Terry about it at first. Because I saw how much money was in the reserve account on the town landed, and I said, oh, perfect. She didn't seem to think that it could be used for that, but the selectmen certainly seemed to think that.
Huh. Well, when we talked about it, and the budget committee gave their recommendation for doing it, but having the money come out of the reserves doesn't make it pay for it.
You know,
Because it dealt with, they said that they would double check their wording, but they felt it was, that it could come out of the reserves based on what it was going to be used for.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
You guys
And-
vote excise taxes and lobstermen pay most of them.
Well, and very few lobstermen use that town landing.
Yeah.
Out of the probably, we probably have,
About 5.
yeah, maybe even 5 down there, but I think South Thompson probably has, I'd say 70 full-time lobstermen, just, owner operator captain.
Oh, okay.
And it's only just, this fall operating down there.
Yeah, I think in the summertime, there's 7 lobster boats in front of my house on the Gate River. But,
Where are you on, obviously downriver?
yeah, about 3/10 of a mile down here, you turn on Alsac Farm Road.
Down, oh, right here. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
sure, I know.
right at, where Ginny and Mike live, and before you, and the Andersons are at the end of the road, but we're here off to the left.
So who's the neighbors giving us so much crap?
Oh, the ones, thank you very much. The one that had put the trailer right at the road with all their junk,
Mhm.
and then they got another house, and then there's another trailer.
Oh, down in further.
Yeah, but that man, when we talked to him, he's a fisherman,
Come on.
and he cleaned everything up because all of his stuff was over on our property. He cleaned everything up. But along Scott's Terrace, we've been picking up, last year we picked up over 35 bags of trash and glass.
That's incredible.
And then they were still throwing more stuff over. So I marked all the trees purple
Yeah,
for no hunting, no trespassing, name off, and no dumping trash. And we keep cleaning because we have goats that clean the area, but we can't let them go in that area.
not just glass.
Right, with glass, so we have to cut that off. And we told them they couldn't throw trash over, and they go, well, we didn't do it, and we go, well, it's a fresh Pepsi can. I'm not talking about the 50-year-old Clorox bottle I have here.
Yeah,
I understand, but somebody did. But, and yeah, when they moved that new trailer with this young family, they would throw fresh old rotten produce. And because they were doing some type of hunting.
oh,
And our other house was rental, it has a child.
What's
there.
up?
yeah.
And we didn't see
Oh, good
any
afternoon to you
issues
too.
there. I have agendas and copies of minutes that Terry made for us all.
We don't have 2 minutes for these.
No, what you'll do is,
This is like a never ending loop.
no. All you do is that at the end of each of these minutes,
Yeah.
for Terry, they were approved today as amended or not amended or whatever. Remember like we did last year, we just did on the last.
Okay.
And then you write capital letters, done.
Yeah, okay.
Get final copies of all those spreadsheets that Jeff was doing.
I emailed those.
But
The final,
the ones
because we
that,
were tinkering with it.
Oh, the spreadsheets, I thought you were talking about the graphs and stuff.
that's not the
No,
draft,
I
I
was
just
talking
the
about the
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
The only spreadsheet would be the last one that was finalized.
I don't have a final copy.
And so that hasn't
Well,
been done.
whenever it happens.
Yep. And I assume you'll want final budgets.
Budget numbers.
Yep, for every department.
And the final reworked levy limit calculation.
That's the spreadsheet.
No, there was a form.
That's for the mill rate.
After we fiddled with the numbers and someday like the printed version.
Or whatever.
No, I wasn't, so I don't get,
When you're
I just wanted to.
for taxable or that was moral support, military.
I feel bad bailing you out. huh?
No,
Go ahead.
but,
Go ahead.
but it's when they need the dates and they
Because it got changed,
really
but I
say,
don't know.
I need.
Well, I know
Well, they will fiddle with it again when they're deciding on the mill rate,
Right,
so it won't be
I got it.
last year they
done.
do that.
Yeah.
But someday
They'll probably be the same every year.
I think last time we pulled it off in 3 days, we didn't have that fourth last year. I don't think.
Well, we were on Zoom last year, and the year before, so. Well, because, yeah, because 2020, they asked me to, 2019, they asked me to serve.
Yeah.
And things just didn't go the way they normally do. And then, so in 2020. Yeah.
Oh, and then we didn't have one because.
Yeah, we didn't have
That's
a,
what it was.
yeah.
Because of the 18-month change.
I don't know.
Did Crystal ask you if you wanted to re-up?
Yeah, yes, and I'm sorry, I will,
You will,
I will, yeah.
That's good.
I just, I'm coming back. I've been like,
It was
okay,
yours.
what
You didn't want to
doctor's
sit next to me.
appointment do I need to go to, and not this, and we have to update, we went through security at the airport, and we said,
I'm gonna stop at
Sure,
4:30.
great.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 4:30. All members are here. Thank you all for coming in person. All right. Are there adjustments to the agenda? Okay, no. And no public comment? And okay, so first item on the agenda is the April 7th minutes. And Bob is a board member, been a board member for 20 years. Just, we were chatting earlier. He's also vice president of the Squid Co-op. So, well, where you had it redlined there, we can change that back to being on the board, and also I would add vice president of Squid Co-op. Are there any other amendments, edits, comments concerning the April 7th minutes? Do I hear a motion? I move we approve the April 7th minutes as amended. Is there a second to the motion?
Can I say something?
I can second it. Have it second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded for approving the minutes of April 7th as amended. All in favor? Or the others weren't there? Okay, very good. Second minutes for the meeting on April 11th. And the only thing I have is that I'm gonna take out your change, Sandra, there was no public comment, because when I look back at my notes, it wasn't concerning the agenda, it was concerning no public comment from anybody, so.
Whatever you want to say, honey.
So I'm just, unfortunately, I hate doing that.
So did she
Just say no public comment. Yep. And I know that you took out red line, but just FYI, that red line doesn't show on either a cell or an iPad. So that's the problem, and when I'm traveling, I have an iPad. And so it makes it very hard when you correct it that way. But are there any other comments or edits or amendments to the meeting minutes of April 11th?
Well,
If you haven't had a chance to read it, I apologize. Please
that's
read.
Maura, I was there, because I made motions. That's
Right,
because I
you
was
were.
absent.
No, I saw that too.
I don't think of that. I don't know if it was on the first one or not.
I didn't notice that before.
I didn't notice on the first one, but
Oh, yeah,
I
it
know.
does. We should change that out. It's pretty hard to be absolutely strong.
no, she was absent on the 7th, but not on the 11th.
Oh, got it.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't see it on the first one.
So I'll move that we approve the April 11th minutes as amended.
Yeah, need a motion, is there a second? I'll second. Sandra. Okay, motion's been made and second to approve the minutes from April 11th as amended. All in favor? 4-0. Okay,
These two, okay.
Bevan, Camille, Sandra, and I. And before we adjourn, Sandra had asked for updated information, but we won't have updated budget numbers and tax levy until it's finalized by the select board, and it hasn't been all done yet.
Right.
And so once that's done, Terry's very good about letting us know. Are there any other questions, comments? If there aren't, before we ask for adjournment, I just want to let you know, because some of you aren't here, I'm not renewing, I'm retiring from the budget committee. This is my last meeting.
After how many years?
I think it's 14. So, good luck. Thank you for your participation. And so do I have a motion for adjournment? All righty.
Second, I thank you for all those years of service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm retired as well from work, so I need some free time.
Wow.
This month I retired.
So I see more farm animals in there?
No, because we don't want to travel, and March and April is the time when we have least animals, so we can do that. That's important.
Yeah. That would be
Because
great.
you have we have one granddaughter. Yep. So, thank you
Good
all.
for you, retired, huh?
Any plans for travel? Well, we just got back from South Carolina, so, and it'll be, we have lots of friends coming this summer.
Nice.
Thank you. This 4:37.